Shalom, everybody. Let us continue with our reading. And yes, I am trying to get comfortable. My back is in extreme pain. Not as bad as my wife's, but I am in a bit of pain with my back, so I may wiggle more than normal. But let us get to Bereshith 12 or Genesis 12 as we continue with our readings of the first book in the Tanakh or the Old Testament, which I do kind of find funny because it's one book. Old and New is only separated by one blank piece of paper, but books are read from cover to cover. However, many will only pick and choose certain books and read them out of the most important book that we're given. So it is up to you to read your Bible cover to cover, as books are meant to be read, because the New Testament is essentially going over the Old Testament and fulfilling all the prophecies that Isaiah, Jeremiah, Habakkuk, and Hosea, all of them. And yeah, I threw some minor prophets in there. Though some of the minor prophets I really think should have been major prophets, but hey, that's what it is. But let me get a quick sip here. Oh, I need the go-go juice. Thinking juice. And let us continue with 12. And Yah said to Abram, "Go yourself out of your land, from your relatives, and from your father's house, to a land which I show you. And I shall make you a great nation, and bless you, and make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. And I shall bless those who bless you, and curse him who curses you. And in you all the clans of the earth shall be blessed." That's right there. There's a key point. And in you all the clans of the earth shall be blessed. So Abram left as Yahweh had commanded. Excuse me. Sorry. Back to 12:4. So Abram left as Yahweh had commanded him, and Lot went with him. And Abram was 75 years old when he set out from Haran. And Abram took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother's son, and all their possessions that they had gathered, and the beings whom they had acquired in Haran. And they set out from the land, and they set out for the land of Canaan. And they came to the land of Canaan. We're going to stop right there at 12:6 for a moment. This is a really interesting turn of phrase, and I think a lot of people really want to jump on this, those that will like to attack the Bible. And it is here that all their possessions they had gathered, and the beings whom they had acquired. Let's get this straight. In no means, in any form, do I accept the fact of purchasing or owning another human being is right. That's utter horseshit. Plain and simple. We do not own other beings. We don't know if Abram had them as servants, as slaves, or what, but they acquired them. I think of the mutual assistance groups that I've been a part of, that I've helped, and they've acquired people. You know, we have this group, we're together, and someone comes over and says, "Hey, wow, what are you doing here?" I'm in on that. This is, we're like-minded. I like that, you like that. And they come into the group. They're not bought into the group. They're not sold into the group. They just we've acquired new members. So as he's going along, there's a possibility that he just acquired people. It's like, hey, where are you going? Oh, you're going to Canaan. We're going to Canaan. We'd like to follow with you. So we'll go with that one. They acquired people that just wanted to go along with the journey. And we continue with 12:6. And Abram passed through the land in the place of Shechem, as far as Terebinth, tree of the Moreh. At that time, the Canaanites were in the land, and Yahweh appeared to Abram and said, to your seed I give this land. And he built there a slaughter place to Yahweh, who had appeared to him. And from there he moved to the mountains east of Bethel, and he pitched his tent with Bethel on the west, and Ai on the east, and he built there a slaughter place to Yahweh, and called on the name of Yahweh. And Abram set out, continuing toward the south. And the scarcity of food came to be in the land. Famine again, scarcity of food. You will see this happens a lot throughout the Bible. Kind of gives you, maybe we should actually stockpile some food for when there's scarcities of food. And we continue with 12:10. And a scarcity of food came to be in the land. And Abram went down to Mitzrayim, Egypt, to sojourn there. For the scarcity of food was severe in the land. And it came to be when he was close to entering Mitzrayim, that he had said to Sarai his wife, see, I know that you are a beautiful woman to look at. And it shall be, when the Mitzrayites see you, they shall say, this is his wife, and they shall kill me, but let you live. Please say you are my sister, so that it shall be well with me for your sake, and my life be spared because of you. And it came to be, when Abram came into Mitzrayim, that the Mitzrayites saw the woman, and she was very beautiful. And Pharaoh's officials saw her and praised her before Pharaoh. And the woman was taken to Pharaoh's house. And he treated Abram well for her sake. And he had sheep and cattle and male donkeys and male and female servants and female donkeys and camels. But Yahweh plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai. Abram's wife. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, what is this you have done to me? Why did you not inform me that she was your wife? Why did you say that she is my sister? And so I was going to take her for my wife. Look, here is your wife, take her and go. And Pharaoh commanded his men concerning him, and they sent him away with his wife and all that he had. So Abram, in trying to protect his life and his wife in a way, because if he dies, I mean, yeah, the Pharaoh's going to take her, probably take care of her. But he's like, look, you're my wife. I'm here to protect you. If I'm killed, I cannot protect you. But these guys are going to look at you and go, ooh, she a hottie. And just let's kill him and we'll take her to be ours and just go with it. So he's like, hey, look, if they think that I'm your brother, they're not going to kill me. So, hey, let them know that, I'm your brother, so, I don't get ghosted. So why don't we continue with 13? And Abram went up from Mitzrayim unto the south, and he and his wife and all that he had, and Lot with him. And Abram was very rich in livestock, in silver and in gold. And he went on his journey from the south as far as Bethel, to the place where his tent had been at the beginning, between Bethel and Ai, to the place of the slaughter place which he had made there at first. And there Abram called on the name of Yahweh. Now Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, and the land was not able to bear them. that they might dwell together, for their possessions were great, so that they could not dwell together. Okay, we're going to pause right there. Could you imagine having so much livestock together that the little piece of land that you're on can't even hold it anymore because the animals are trampling each other? His animals are mixing up with Abram's animals. Lot's animals are mixing up with Abram mixing up with Lot. It's like, look, this is not good for either one of us. This is horrible. We have to separate our herds. And it's just, we have to. It's just, that's such an immense amount. It's like the land cannot withhold, cannot provide for us and all these animals. So, kind of a nice problem to have. So, we go to 13:7, and there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. And at that time, the Canaanites and the Perizzites dwelt in the land. Then Abraham said to Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me." Dude, let's not argue over this, Let there be no strife between us. I'm good, you're good. Come on, let's stop this bickering. And Abram said to Lot, "Let there be no strife between you and me, and between my herdsmen and your herdsmen, for we are brothers. It's not good that we all be fighting, yo. Is not all the land before you? Please separate from me. Yeah, don't separate me, separate from me, If you take the left, then I'll go to the right. Or if you go to the right, then I'll go to the left. Dude, you pick. You pick what you want, and then I'll take the scraps. It's cool, brother. And Lot lifted his eyes and saw all the plains of the Yarden, or the Jordan, that he was well, and it was well watered everywhere before Yahweh destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, like the garden of Yahweh, like the land of Mitzrayim, as you go toward Soar. So Lot chose for himself all the plains of the Yarden, and Lot moved east. Thus they separated from each other. So Lot saw the best of the land. He's like, you know what? I'm going to take this. Abram was okay with it. You chose it. You chose the best. This is wonderful. You chose the best. Good for you. Abram dwelling in the land of Canaan, and Lot dwelling in the cities of the plain, and pitched his tent as far as Sodom. But the men of Sodom were evil and sinned before Yahweh, exceedingly so. They ain't just messing around. They messing around. And after Lot has separated from him, Yahweh said to Abram, "Now lift up your eyes and look from the place where you are, northward and southward, and eastward and westward. For all the land which you see, I shall give to you and your seed forever." It's a promise forever. "And I shall make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could count the dust of the earth, then your seed also could be counted." That's a bold statement. That is, "I shall make your seed as the dust of the earth, so that if a man could count the dust of the earth, then your seed also could be counted." That's powerful. That should remind us on this. Well, they're not a part of God's plan. They're not a part. No, your seed cannot be counted. It will be so great. Keep that in mind. "Arise, walk in the land through its length and its width, for I give it to you." So Abram moved his tent and went and dwelt by the terebinth trees of Mamre, which is in Hebron, and built a slaughter place there to Yahweh. And we're going to stop there, because 14 we're moving into some interesting stuffs with dealing with Lot and some really powerful teachings. And not to jump too far ahead, but we're going to have a surprise visit by someone that most people don't expect. And we get that in Genesis 14. And some people will argue it, and it's like, well, you can argue it all you want, but it is almost clearly written. And we will get that next week. And that will be 14. And we will continue. For those of you that are wondering what book I read the Scriptures. This is the Institute for Scriptural Research. And as I said before, I like this because this is a direct translation of the source books. It's not a translation of a translation of a translation. It maintains the Hebrew in a lot of the words. It also has removed such things as Almighty Lord God and maintained the actual name of Yahweh, Yahovah, Yah, whatever your pronunciation may be. And I know there's a lot of you cannot say. It's clearly stated that he says, my name is I am. And then he tells Moshe what his name is. And then we'll eventually get to that when we enter Exodus. And then we have Elohim, Yod-He, Vah-He. Some people say Yod-He, Wah-He. At the end of an age, he's going to tell us exactly how to pronounce it. So it's all good. Do not create a separation. Do not create stumbling blocks over a slight pronunciation. I say Yeshua. Most people say Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I prefer Yeshua because there is no J in Hebrew. It's just a me thing. It does not have to be a you thing. So, but with that, thank you once again for tuning in, listening, all that good stuff. May you have a wonderful, blessed week, and may the Father's face shine upon you. Shalom, everybody. Blessings.